Won't you come and talk with me? Make sure you bring your tea. We can talk about movies. Hey, and welcome to a brand new episode of Tea Breaks with Dagg, the show where I get my friends together and we talk a few films. Today I'd like to introduce my great friend Charlie. Hello. So, well, I know Charlie from university, and lovely 3 years spent with you, and we watched many films, did we or did we not? Believe we went
did,
to the
yeah.
cinema for a bit.
Yeah, and we packed like 20 people into your like small bedroom and just like all watched movies.
Yes, but that was first year. So when I think of you using your houses, your house particularly in uni, so there's the group, and hopefully maybe I might try and sneak one of them on as well, somebody else. I feel like
Karim is well into movies.
I was hoping, I might have to ask. I was hoping when I think of yous, I think like Interstellar and Macbeth. I watched arty films of your house, like not my typical films that I would go and see.
Yeah. Well, I remember when we went to, because we went to the cinema to see Interstellar, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I remember it like finished, and we're all like, "Oh my god!" And then we walked out, and I was looking at the floor, and the whole like carpet was like space patterns, and I was like, "Oh!" Blew my mind. It's like, "Oh my god, it's all connected."
I remember walking home from that, and I was like, "Yeah, it was okay. I enjoyed it." And you were all livid with me, and like I tried to go like, Avengers: Age of Ultron was better than that. I couldn't even like justify what I was saying. And Grim was like, "You're an idiot." I was like, "Yeah, I tried." So before we get on with some questions, I'd just like to say today's the first episode. I don't have any biscuits with me, but I have a coffee. I know, shake your head.
Disappointed. So you're saying the whole premise of this is tea and biscuits, and you've got coffee, no biscuits?
I know, it's my first coffee of the day to try and help me. And
okay, fair enough.
Biscuits. Well, lockdown hasn't been too kind to the good old bodies. So maybe I should slow down on the biscuits.
You got to like ration one biscuit per week.
Yeah. Do you have anything with your tea break?
I do. I have a tea, or a green tea. I got this from my sister. It says, "I saw your mum on Tinder."
Nice. I like that. Probably one of the better mugs we've had.
Thanks. It was that, or my sister's got a Doctor Who one, but it's got is it Matt Smith?
Yeah.
I wasn't. Yeah, that's what I thought. So I didn't bother. I thought the Tinder one was a surefire. And then biscuits. I went for jammy Dodgers and a jam donut.
In a bowl.
Well, I was going for I thought you were going to judge me on the tea, so I went for presentation of the biscuits, and I don't even know what a donut's not a biscuit, but.
Well, would you ever have a jam donut on your break? Maybe you would. Maybe.
Yeah,
some people
I have jam donuts at any time of the day.
Do you know what? I don't know where that's going to feature. We'll have to figure that out.
That's what I thought. It'd be a little curveball.
So we'll get on with quick question one, which is, what is your favourite film and why, Charlie?
I wanted to know if you would be able to guess it, because it's still the same movie as when I was at uni. Yep.
Yes. Got it.
Yeah, like, it doesn't matter how many other movies I watch. Anchorman is still my like go-to. Like, I don't know, it's just so stupid, and I love it. And it doesn't matter what mood I'm in. Like, if I'm in a great mood and I watch it, I'm like, yeah. Or if I'm like feeling really rubbish, I'm just like, just whack Anchorman on. And within 5 minutes, like as soon as that like intro sequence starts, and he's like, Ron Burgundy is balls. Just straight away, I'm just like, okay, yeah, I'm back.
You're happy. When was the first time you saw Anchorman? Do you remember?
I actually don't know. It would have been before uni. It was before college, so maybe like 2011.
So a long time ago.
Yeah, because I don't know when it came out. It was like mid 2000 something.
I think I remember watching it in my college, which was 2008.
I was going to say 8. Yeah.
But
yeah, no, like it's just I can quote 90% of the movie, and when I find someone that hasn't watched it, I like to watch it with them. But then it's really bad because they're sitting there, and then like a whole minute before a joke comes, I'm just like,
you already know what's up.
Don't know what's going to come. But yeah, it's just all the time. Like I struggled with that question. I was like, it could be any of these like massive, great sci-fi movies, and I was like, no,
Yeah,
Anchorman.
Anchorman. Well, I was just about to ask you, what is your favorite quote before we move on to question 2? Because I know
Oh,
lots of people have lots of different quotes. The food one.
Just pulled out of his sleeve. Oh, I'm really not prepared.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there's always one. I don't know why, but it always makes me laugh most. And it's not even that fun, but it's when they cut to Brian Fantana and he's at the bear enclosure, the panda bear.
Yeah.
And he's like, I tried to get in there and interview with him, but they said, no, he's a live bear who will literally rip your face off. And he just turns around and was like, get out here, panda jerk! You're making me look stupid! I don't know what it is. It just gets me.
Yeah. I think the most fun of Anchorman I watch is obviously the anchors all fight.
Oh yeah.
It's just like I wasn't expecting that when I first watched it.
No,
I was in stitches.
Just how many like faces pop up that you know? Like, oh.
Yeah. Is Jim Carrey in the first one, or is he? I'm pretty sure
he's in the second one.
The second one. The Canadian Jim. I giggled. There's so many, and I loved it. The Trident. So.
Oh yeah.
Well, we've now spoke about Anchorman. I think we've already spoke about it on that show, and somebody disliked it. I'm really sorry.
Oh, I'm gonna have to watch all your videos and then fight the person that's.
You saying you haven't watched my videos already, Charlie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually watched the one with Christina earlier, and there's one of these questions. I've got a bone to pick. Well, not a bone to pick.
Oh,
we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. So, question 2 would be: if you could feature in a film, what would it be and why?
Yeah, I struggled with this one, but it's kind of a vague answer. But just pretty much any Wes Anderson movie.
Okay. Yeah.
Just because, like, from a being in it standpoint, like everything is so like visually nice and like bright colors and then just like organized. It's always really and it's really like funny and quirky and everyone's just kind of like what? Yeah. It's just like I don't know what it is.
And the dialogue is very, very, very quirky.
Yeah, it was so clever. Yeah. And then just from like because I obviously but I studied photography and now I do like video editing things like that. So like to be able to work on a film like that, even from like an editing standpoint or even just be on set, like I can just imagine that whole thing is amazing.
If you were going to be in a film universe of his, which one would it be? I only know a couple. I'm not going to lie to you. I know the aquatic one where you all wear your hats.
Yeah, we dressed as him, Steve Zissou, The Life Aquatic. It would be either, I think, the Grand Budapest Hotel or Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Yes. Another film he's made me watch during uni. So you guys love the Wes Andersons. And I remember in first year, I told you I hadn't seen it, but Fantastic Mr. Fox is like one of my favourite books as a kid. And he's
to be fair, I don't remember seeing Fantastic Mr. Fox, like that version, until uni.
Yeah.
And then Karim was just like, "Oh my god, look at this!" And I was like, "Oh."
See, you're like, "Oh," I'm like, okay, because and I'll tell you the reason why. Well, as a kid, I remember Fantastic Mr. Fox. Anyway, reading it as a down on the luck kind of character who's still a little bit happy, and then everything pays off. Where when I watched the film, it's George Clooney who voices him, isn't it?
Yeah,
he's a smug little fox. And I didn't like that. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. The visuals were very beautiful. It was still very funny. I just didn't like.
Okay, yeah.
That's my.
Yeah, no, it's hard going from like a book adaptation in your head to seeing it on screen. You're like, it's not what I thought.
So, books to films. It hasn't happened a lot to me. But that was definitely one of them. I was like, no, I don't like this as much.
Yeah.
But no, that's cool. So we'll move on to question 3. What film is underrated that everyone should check out?
Well, I've never heard anyone speak bad of it, but not a lot of people have seen it, which is The Place Beyond the Pines.
Okay.
Which is, I don't know how to describe it, but it's got like a proper star-studded cast. It's Ryan Gosling and Ava Mendes, and it also has Bradley Cooper, Dane DeHaan, Ray Liotta, and a few others. But I don't know how to describe it without giving it away, because it's definitely one that you should watch, but there's lots of like twists and turns in it that you don't see coming, and it's written really well, and it's one of those, it's like a over 2 hour movie, but it's one of those ones that's like paced really well. Like there's no point during it that you're like, oh come on, like this is really slow.
Yeah.
It just kind of all happens and then it finishes and you're like, oh, I've been here for 2.5 hours. But, yeah, no, I definitely recommend that one. Like, it's...
No spoilers. Is that? I'm pretty sure we have watched. Is that the one with the Ryan Gosling and the little tattoo?
Yeah, he's got a little, like, I think it's a little knife or dagger, and he rides the motorbike.
I think there was a Ryan Gosling renaissance. Like, I can't even say that word.
Renaissance.
That's the word I'm looking for. See, this is why we're friends. They help me with words and communication.
Okay.
Yeah, and during uni, I'm pretty sure we watched a lot of them. Driver. Yeah.
Drive, yeah.
I'm pretty.
That's on my list. I wrote notes. That's on my list.
I also have notes. Don't you worry. And I've written down that Charlie hasn't watched any of my videos, so he's going at the bottom of the tea breaks. Like that's
fair enough. Yeah. That's...
So what was it called again? Place Beyond the Pines. I definitely watched
Place
it.
Beyond the Pines.
I don't think I can remember much of it, to be honest with you.
I've not watched it in a while actually, but it's one of those. It was one of those first movies, like one of the first big twists in it. I was like, wait, what? How does what? And then like it kind of all plays out, and then it's one of those ones that right at the end everything's like, and you're like, oh yeah, okay.
You hear this, people? This is Charlie selling the film you need to go and watch.
Mm-hmm.
Twisty, and at the end,
twisty and turny and backflips. And
we'll move on to question 4, which is what is the best scene in a film?
Well, actually, it was one of the scenes from that movie, but I can't describe it without giving a massive plot point. So I wasn't sure if you'd seen it, so I was going to edge around it, but instead I also just wrote the end game on your left, like right at the end scene. Like it's
welcome to the crew, my friend.
There's probably a million people have said it already, but like I've never been like super invested into Marvel. I've always just been like, okay, yeah, like, I'll go and watch it, and I enjoy the films, but I've never been like and I went to watch that in the cinema, and I think I might have gone by myself actually. I'm not sure, but like yeah, I just remember sitting there, and then when he said it, I was like, oh no, and then just like even now like goosebumps. I'm like, oh no, and then they all just starting out, and I was like, oh,
it is in. Oh, they're so
good.
You just make me happy. Just give me a big beaming smile just by mentioning it. Honestly. So this is episode 10, I believe, and I think you are 4th, or if not the 5th person to say Endgame for this question.
I'm not surprised. Yeah.
Is fantastic, and I'm so glad that so many other people love it. Like, so I was a Marvel nerd, and I always have been since teen years, and I got so much out of it, and just to know that so many more people, like people who. So when I watched the first Avengers, I sat there, jaw drop, hands like on everything. Oh, everyone's coming together, and I remember the people I went to watch it with. They're like, "Yeah, it was good. I'm excited to see what happens." And I'm like, "You just wait. It's gonna be the best film ever, right?" And I'm not being like smug or like, "Oh, I told you so." It's just nice to know that it paid off for so long. And
yeah, it was such a long like build up that it could have gone wrong at so many points, and it just kind of all came together right at the end. And I think one of my favorite moments just about that movie is you must have seen that video of it was like one of the first like premieres of the movie, and it's someone like recording in the cinema, and then when it all happens, everyone's like screaming, and like it's so good. It's such a feel good moment. Just like everyone's like, ah.
I think my friend Dan, so Dan Watson, my first person, but he showed me. I think there was a film. A cinema in India, and they all cheer. And there was one where popcorn just like he's filming it sneakily, and I think like 2-3 rows in front of him, his popcorn just flies and everyone's cheering, and you just like, it's amazing. It's even fun to watch reactions of it. It's so good. Wow, that's just cheered me up and put me in a great mood. Thank you, Charlie.
Good one. You're welcome. That's what I'm here for.
We'll move on to question 5. Is what movie moment made you fall in love with film?
Okay. So it's one you mentioned earlier. That's called Drive.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Like, so I don't know how much of it you remember, but like, it just kind of blew my mind. I don't know. It was just kind of put together in like a whole different way. Like Ryan Gosling, apparently, I think in the entire film, he's like the main guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's got maybe 2 pages of script in the entire movie.
Like his dialogue is very minimal.
Yeah, and it's there's some moments where it could be interpreted as kind of awkward because like they're just kind of like staring at each other and like, but I don't know what it is. It's just the music and the way they kind of set things up. Just those moments that could be really awkward just aren't, and it's kind of like, yeah, okay, I can understand this. And yeah, just like the way it's shot, like I love that's one thing I kind of pay attention. Ow, just hit my knee on the table. One thing I pay attention to when I like watch a movie is just like the cinematography and like how it's all shot. The way Drive is just put together and it just looks amazing, and the soundtrack is just perfect. And yeah, it
is a very beautiful film, and I think I remember that was the one that I enjoyed the most watching, and I think it was the one that I knew the least of when like heading in and talking to you about it. And I hated Ryan Gosling, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Same, I was never massive on him.
Yeah, but he, like every girl I knew from like when I was like late teens, early 20s, everyone was in love with Ryan Gosling. And even my best friend Dina was in love with Ryan Gosling. And it annoyed the hell out of me. And then I watched Driver and I'm like, oh, fine. He's pretty amazing. God damn it. Wore me down. That is another film I would also recommend people to watch if they have not seen.
I might watch that tonight.
Yeah? Nice. Nice. We'll move on to question 6. Because obviously the whole point of tea breaks is meant to be it's a tea break. But all of these have gone on for a whole lunch break, and it's been. What is the best?
Work.
Yeah, like who works these days?
Yeah.
Question 6 is that what's the best song in a film?
Okay, so this is the one. So this morning, because you asked me to do this last night. And I was like, okay.
No, I didn't. I asked you to do it like 4 or 5 weeks ago.
You actually did, yeah. And okay, I'll give you that. You reminded me to do it last night. I have a sieve memory. So I was watching through your one with your friend Tina, and it got to this question. Like I'd let you kind of the question, and I'd pause the video and think about it. And I'm like, okay. And I sat there and I was like, okay, and then I'm gonna press play, and then your friend went, it's got to be Friend and Me, Toy Story. And I was like, that was my one. It was the first thing that popped into my head was just Toy Story. Like
Toy Story.
I grew up on Toy Story, and I'm the exact right age that I'm kind of the same age as Andy.
Nice.
I don't know if you've noticed, but they did it like not in real time, but basically he went to uni at the same time I did.
Yeah.
So it was perfect. And a lot of people, I was speaking to my sister, she's a few years, and she didn't like Toy Story 3, and she was kind of like, I think my generation and maybe like a year either side, it just kind of timed it perfectly and was like, oh yeah, and then it was like a really nice send off.
I loved Toy Story 3 just for the scenes. I just want to point out you were breaking up and freezing then whilst talking, just a tiniest bit. No. But it was actually rather ironic because you were like, I paused it, and you said the word pause, and you like paused for a second, and then you came back. So it's like you had some magical powers and you managed to do it through the internet.
Yeah, that's it.
So is Toy Story your answer, sir? Toy Story Friend and Me?
I had a couple honourable mentions as well, in case you wanted some variety.
Here's some honourable mentions.
You know, Ocean's 11.
I've watched it many times. I don't really.
Well, it's just literally like the last scene where they're all standing in front of the fountain, like show thing. And there's a song called Claire de Lune, which is like this piano piece, which is just beautiful. And it just works really well with that scene.
Yeah, nice.
And then a stupid one is Taking the Hobbits to Isengard remix. That's good.
Didn't quite feature in Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings.
No,
definitely should have done. Or they could have
brainchild of that. Yeah,
they could have interwoven it into The Hobbit just to make them a bit more interesting. But
yeah, that's true.
When that came out, Taking the Hobbits to Isengard, it was in your head
it's a
all
bop.
the time.
It's a bop.
Brilliant. But Toy Story Friend of Me is a great shout because when you watch the opening scene and you start hearing it, you just. So I remember watching it. Yeah, I remember watching it as a kid, and it just fit, and I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed watching and hearing. Like all my sinuses and all my senses were all tingling of happiness.
Yeah.
Watching it now as an adult, it not only fits still perfectly, but it also has the nostalgic feel attached to it.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
It's just like it works in so many different levels. It's perfect. Great little answer. I'll tell Tina that you copied her.
Okay.
No, I won't promise you. We'll move on to the last question because you're unique, Charlie. You're always unique. Pick everything that's your own.
All right, let's go with that.
The last question is: what film does everybody love but you dislike? Or we have had it flipped, which is what film does everyone dislike but you love? So you can.
I don't know. I was trying to think of this earlier. Like, I actually really struggled with this. Like, I have such a bad memory that I feel like if I watch a bad movie, I just cast it out of my mind. I'm just like, no, bad, go away. Don't have the memory capacity to remember that movie. It's kind of a cop-out answer. I don't know if you'll accept it, but I just wrote horror movies in general. I just
okay.
I just don't get the appeal. Like, actually, I don't know. Specify like I'm fine with like gore and like kind of tense and stuff like that. I hate jump scares. Like, I just can't. I can't do it. I'm just like, why does anyone want to sit there and be scared senseless? Like, why do they enjoy that? I don't get it. And like, I just then get really paranoid. Like, my sister the other night, we were talking. She was like, "Were you in the last night?" I was like, "No." And she was like, "Oh, I thought I saw someone walk past with like a hoodie and blonde hair." And I was like, "No, it wasn't me." And then like the past 3 nights, whenever it's dark, I'm just really paranoid about it now. So I just can't watch. I can't watch horror movies because then I'm just walking around for weeks. Oh, I'm gonna die.
Just on edge. Oh, bless you. Okay, right, so it's not a cop-out answer. It's not a cop-out answer. I'll accept horror movies as a category, as a general answer.
Yeah.
But for me to accept it, you need to tell me what was the worst horror. What scared you the most? What film did you make you absolutely pop your pants?
I'm not sure. Because I never watch a horror movie by myself, just because it's not something I would choose to put on.
If you're watching horrors by yourself, you are a little bit disturbed.
Psychopath. Absolute psychopath.
Yeah, just a little.
But if
he's looking at you, Sophie.
Context, obviously, Sophie.
Yeah.
Crazy. Oh, you froze. Am I frozen?
Oh no. You're frozen in the most perfect stance, though. We can still hear.
Am I frozen? You're frozen.
You're back now. You're frozen like this, looking sexy. Like.
My blue steel. Derek Zoolander.
Yes. Come on.
Yeah, so I was saying I've never watched them by myself. So watching horror movies, I get made jump by other people. Like whoever I'm watching it with, when they jump, it makes me jump. But maybe like maybe The Conjuring.
Ooh, yes.
There's like a couple jump scares in there. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
But the jump scares got me, and then it was one that I was just kind of like, no, that doesn't sit right with me. Like, it's all the ones that are like a little bit too real, and I'm just like, nah, not about that.
Yeah, I hate horrors and jump scares. I'm kind I kind of okay with,
Yeah.
because I've kind of worked out the formula of tension and music, and they're trying to build up the suspense. So like I'm not gonna lie to you. Sometimes I really do just brace myself on my chair. Like I won't jump if I'm so tense. Like I know it's coming. Okay, so jump scares don't necessarily always get me sometimes. But there was one film I watched around Halloween, and it's not a jump scare. Okay, it's this sort of random film on Netflix. Okay, and it's about a person who's in their house. Okay, but he lives in like the walls of their house. Okay, yeah. But he's like a freaky character. Like it's not a human-y thing. It's quite. And oh look, I'm getting shivers now just thinking of it. This is what's worse is I wasn't scared of jump scares, but he crawls out from like a cupboard. So she's like looking in like the microwave, and it's the reflection of the microwave, and you see him crawling out of a cupboard behind it, right? And he slithers down, and that shuddered me all the way through my spine, right? And like that, but in the worst way. And the more I think about it, the more it scares me. Like that's worse, I think, than like jump scares. So I don't like watching horror films anymore.
We're just a massive pair of wimps, aren't we?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, I'm gonna go stick on the Avengers and try and feel like a hero instead. I don't want to be scared. Well, thank you very much for your answers. I just want to maybe place you on the break bar before we leave. Okay. So where do you feel like you belong to come? Should I give you a lowdown of? You won't be able to read it.
Yeah, give me a brief.
Just so people know I'm not.
What's at the bottom?
Right,
give me the bottom.
I'm not lying. Look, I do actually write these, and they are actually there. Okay. So I've done Yorkshire tea, Sarah Yorkshire tea and shortbread, and a bourbon biscuit. Tina has Yorkshire tea and shortbread. Tom Stone has peppermint and peach tea with a bourbon. So it was the weirdest combo I've heard, but it's.
I can't hear you too well.
Bright up with a tea and party rings / chocolate
party rings.
Chocolate lid.
One animal.
Dino had a coffee and a Twix. Jill had tea and digestives, and straight digestives. Did not like that. Thursday, which I forgot to write his name in, bless him, it's just here. Had Yorkshire tea fig rolls and a chocolate digestive, and Dan had Earl Grey and a custard cream. So you just have to be a custard cream and an Earl Grey. They definitely don't go together. So
I feel like
there's the lowdown.
Yeah, I'm not sure my biscuits go with my tea, but I was trying to like salvage not being at the bottom by just having jammy dodgers. I'm not sure if they're really like a tea biscuit, but
bro. So I put Jammy D as your bicket. And I'm really embarrassed to say this on camera. I always spelled donut wrong. Like, why can't it just be spelled like DOHNUT, like dough nut? But it's like there's a G and there's a U in there missing, and
it depends where you're from. Because in Canada, where I was living, they spell it DONUT, like do not.
Why can't we just spell it like that? That does it right. Spell that one again. D.
DONUT.
There you go. Look, we have Charlie's Canadian donut.
Even though it's from Tesco.
It flew all the way in from Canada, just like you, to be honest.
Yeah.
You flew to England just to be here with me.
Yeah, that's it.
I think you beat fig rolls. I think you beat tea.
I'd say I beat fig rolls.
Yeah. Do you think you beat a coffee and a Twix?
See, I would have put that a bit higher than it is. But is it low because it's a coffee?
But I was just drinking coffee. So what happened was
Dino was coffee and a Twix is a good shout.
Dino was my second guest, so he went like up here while Dan was up here, and then as more people have come along, he kind of just got shuffled in. Yeah, I feel like you need to do maybe like every 5 or every 10 episodes you do a reshuffle. What's worse is there is an episode where I just redid this. I don't know who. I can't remember. I think it might have been Joel. It could have been Tina. No, probably earlier than that. Just reshuffled everything, and Dino's still down there at the bottom. Oh well, okay.
Okay.
You definitely beat tea and party
above
rings.
fig roll. Yeah, I beat party rings. I wouldn't say I beat a Twix. So I think you should put up Bryden, and then put the Twix above me.
I still think you beat peach tea and bourbon.
Oh yeah, peach tea.
Here you go. You go slightly under Tina. You copied her for the Toy Story, and you can go slightly under Yorkshire tea and shortbread. There you go.
I'm happy with that. That's higher up than I thought.
Nice and cheeky there. And you know what?
Not quite on the podium, but I'll take it.
Hey. I think every time I talk to Dan about this, he's still unhappy that he has Earl Grey and custard cream at the bottom. So I think he might need to come back on with a different set and just take top.
Redeem himself, yeah.
Yeah. Right. Dino has now moved into 5th. Here we go.
You're welcome, Dino.
Well, again, thank you very much for your answers.
Thank you letter in the mail.
Is there any other memories you have between us and films that you'd like to finish off with? It's okay if you say no. You're allowed to say no.
No. Well, I'd like to just tell everyone that Dagg is still really upset with me that we both started playing The Last of Us in uni, and then he went out on a night out, and I said, "Can I keep playing?" And I completed the game while he was out drinking, and he came back like 5 minutes towards the end and watched me the game. That was like
spoilers
5 years ago.
Spoilers for anyone who hasn't played it. But I'm telling you to just cover your ears or press pause or skip 20 seconds ahead. I came back from a night out and he was like trying to save Ellie in the bloody hospital, and I have no idea how she got there. No idea. You played.
Does it make you feel better that? Does it make you feel better that I don't know how she got there either?
Yeah, it feels so much better. And
You're welcome, mate.
Just before you go, is there anything you'd like to plug? Anything that you think the viewers should check out of yours?
I've got Instagram. I do photos, and how do you do videos in Pictionary? Is it like that?
Yes.
I don't know.
No, that's film. That's film.
No, Charade's not Pictionary. Or is that the same? I do photos and videos. Yeah, it's just Charlie Beerling photo. I think my name will be in the video, maybe.
Yeah. I'll try and tag it in the description below.
Just do, yeah. Do that. Yeah. Do the thing.
Yeah, down below.
Now. Do the thing. Yeah.
So thank you very much again, Charlie. I hope you do keep well during lockdown. It was lovely to chat with you. Good old Jammy Dodger. Just want to say thank you for everyone for watching. I hope they keep well, and remember to always enjoy your brews. Bye.